Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another exciting episode, and this one is a big one. This one I'm talking about some players that could be league winners if you draft them in your fantasy drafts. Before we get started, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It would be really amazing to hit 8,000 subscribers this year, and that is my current goal. So if you've been watching and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that button. Would mean a lot to me. And if you do want to take your support to the next level, hit that join button on YouTube or follow the link down below to my Patreon. There are so many perks like being able to see my draft rankings and being able to DM with me one-on-one on Patreon. Let's jump into the content now, guys, and let's start with my first potential league winner. And that is Tim Stützle. 1 year ago, Tim Stützle was coming off a 90-point season at only 21 years of age. But even with a step back last year, he recorded 70 points in 75 games and also shot at only 9.4%, when historically, he's been shooting in the 13% range. Last year, he shot 2.6 times per game. But the prior year when he had that breakout, he was shooting 2.9. Now, it may not seem like a lot, but actually does make quite a bit of difference in the overall scheme of things. If he can get those shots back up, he could be a real force to be reckoned with this year. And at an ADP in the 60s where he's currently going, could be an absolute steal. I think that if you get him this year, he's only going to finish higher than that. My next potential league winner is Patrik Laine, going at an ADP of 155.3. Now, he's not going to be top line in Montreal, but in all likelihood, he's going to be top power play. And this dude is absolutely pumped to be playing for one of the best fan bases in hockey. He's going to be super pumped to actually have a crowd that's loud and behind him. The Bell Center is an amazing place to play. Obviously, I'm a little biased being a Montreal Canadiens fan, but I do think Laine is going to have a really solid bounce back season. Historically, when he's had good seasons, he shot the puck a lot, and I think he's going to be super motivated to do just that. He's going to fire the puck at the net a whole lot, and I'm expecting at least 25 to 30 goals from him. And at his ADP, he's going super late. I think that he definitely well exceeds that. That's going to be a really solid pick for you. My next league winner is Mitch Marner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, going at an ADP right now of 31.4. And he's easily top 15 to 20 fantasy potential. And this is a contract year for Mitch Marner. You guys remember what Nylander and Sam Reinhart did last year on contract years? Yeah, he's almost for sure super motivated and definitely exceeds his current ADP with the production that I'm anticipating from him. I have him ranked at 22, but honestly could finish even higher than that. And obviously, right wing is a really good position to have this year in fantasy. I like Mitch Marner a lot this year. All right, guys, so my next league winner is Brandt Clarke of the LA Kings. Literally doesn't have an ADP right now and is only owned in 7% of leagues. Brandt Clarke's ceiling is enormous. He averaged roughly 2 points per game in his last major junior season and became a point per game defenseman in the AHL last year. With Matt Roy gone in free agency, there is an opening now in the top 4 defensemen on LA. Now, Drew Doughty has always been that number 1 power play guy on LA for as long as I can remember. But Clarke is that guy who is probably going to be taking over that spot at some point. Now, will that be this year? If it is, oh boy, could this guy have a lot of fantasy value if he actually gets placed on that top power play. But even if he doesn't necessarily get it, it wouldn't be surprising if he was a pretty meaningful contributor this season offensively. I'm thinking 40 points and power play 2 is his floor, but his ceiling is a whole lot higher if he does get that opportunity. Honestly, guys, you can probably throw your very last pick of your draft at this guy, and if he hits, oh boy, you're going to be laughing all the way to that championship. The next league winner, guys, is Juraj Slafkovsky, and I know you guys might be tired of me talking about him, but I'm expecting a really monster year from him. He's currently going at an ADP of 119.5 and is listed only as a left winger, but probably will be playing on the right wing, so should gain that eligibility pretty early on in the season. And is he the next big banger league threat? I think so. He shoots a lot and he hits a lot. I'm expecting him to have another solid peripheral year on top of that. Now, overall, Slafkovsky's numbers were pretty good last year, but if you look at the later season numbers, in February he was a point per game, in March he was 0.77 points per game, and in April was once again 8 point per game player. So if you look at that, 70 points is very realistic for him this year. If we prorate his second half numbers from last season, we do get 32 goals and 70 points, 194 shots, and 152 hits. That would be a massive season for him. I have him ranked pretty conservatively, and he still exceeds that current ADP. Go ahead and draft Juraj Slafkovsky. All right, then I have Jeff Skinner as my next potential league winner, going at an ADP of 138.7. And he did spend his last few seasons with Buffalo. And despite being over 30 years old in his past 3 seasons, he still averaged 32 goals per 82 games, which is not bad. Now in Edmonton, 30 goals seems almost like a lock with all the talent around him. Probably going to play with McDavid or Draisaitl. Even 40 goals doesn't seem so far-fetched playing with Leon or Connor, but he'll likely need to be on the top power play for that to happen, which definitely won't happen right away. But if there's an injury or he's really impressing, maybe he gets a spot on that top power play if it starts to struggle a little bit. My next potential league winner is Dylan Guenther of the Utah Hockey Club. Now, this is a player who scored everywhere he's gone in his young career. He was the 2021 9th overall draft pick, and he lit it up in the WHL in his last couple of years there. He put in 18 goals in 45 games and showed some pretty decent chemistry last year with Logan Cooley. Now, Guenther's only 21 years old, and he has 24 goals in his first 78 NHL games, was on a 33 goal pace last season, which is pretty freaking good. I'm projecting a big breakout season for him. I didn't include him in my top 75 forwards video, but I probably should have. He projects as a top 100 player if he keeps up this trend, and I'm seeing big minutes and big power play minutes on Utah this year. You can expect some really good things from him, and at his current ADP of 177, that's really good value considering he's only actually being drafted in 17% of leagues right now. I think he's one of the biggest value picks out there and definitely could be a league winner. And that's it for this video, guys. Did you enjoy my picks today? Let me know down in the comments if you liked my picks and if you have anybody else that could potentially be league winners if you draft them where they're currently going. Thanks again for watching, guys. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.